What was once one turned into three, reconnecting with our family, a safe space to speak authentically. We raise our cups, unifying as three. We bring freedom in community, random thoughts and golden nugget treats. Welcome, Three of Cups community. Let's go ahead and raise the frequency.
That keeps them from personal growth that they can choose for themselves when they're ready and when they want to. But when they see that someone is choosing themselves, external of themselves, that triggers them. That triggers them. Because at that point, you're showing them that you're deciding you're worthy of putting yourself before someone else and finding peace with it. You're showing them you're worthy and have the audacity to have this much confidence to own who you are characterized without needing approval from anyone else external of you, regardless if they disagree with you or not on some of the acts, reactions, or statements you happen to make or say that you know you support, even if they do not. That kind of confidence will trigger a very insecure person, but it will also expose a hater that watches you grow as well, which is why the term insecure hater was used in this specific example.
I just wish that, you could make me feel more comfortable.
I'm getting annoyed now.
Because I don't feel comfortable like that when I'm around you like I used to.
Why do I need to make sure she feels comfortable around me?
So, you think we could still be friends?
It is not your job to make somebody else feel comfortable around you. If somebody tells you they need you to do something specific to feel more comfortable around you, and you know you're just being yourself, that's not a connection for you. If somebody is telling you they need you to be a certain way, listen carefully. If somebody is telling you they need you to be a certain way to feel comfortable around you, they're saying they need you to be a certain way to feel comfortable around you. What they're telling you, whether they're aware of it or not, they want you to compensate the void within themselves that is the root of their insecurities they're feeling in the first place, that they're not working through personally themselves. And they want to burden you with the responsibility of doing it for them. So if you ever find yourself compensating through a need somebody says when it comes to their feelings towards you, and they're asking you to change something you're doing, or adjust the way you show up, or adjust the way you speak, the way you embody what you do and say. They're asking you to compensate for the void of insecurity they're still running away from facing within themselves, and they're trying to burden you with the responsibility of that. Which means you're likely in a connection of very irresponsible individuals that do not choose to be responsible for their own feelings when they're triggered by a person that knows how to choose themselves and has been practicing it. And instead of practicing responsibility, they would rather smear your name instead, or complain about you to other people who have the same trigger wounds instead. All because they are still stuck in the loop of running away from themselves. And yet they can't stop being triggered, and they can't handle the idea of being in a connection with, they can't handle not being in a connection with someone they know is a good person to be in connection with, but they can't stand them stepping into their own personal power of independence while they're sharing a connection with them. If anything, that person should actually be feeling inspired to step into their own personal space of independence that they make for themselves, instead of expecting
the person they're observing. They should actually be inspired by, mind you. They should be inspired by them, by the way. Not just I just walked up there and thought, I guess that's not so cool. But at the end of this example, they should be the person that she's talking to. This is themselves at the end of the video by letting them know, no, we can't continue to connect. This just ain't gonna work. This just ain't gonna work out. She's right. This is not gonna work out. And we're not gonna do this whole, I wish you well thing when in that moment, if she's upset, she's upset. You want to wish somebody well while you're upset? Well, then you're just lying to yourself. You're not really going to wish somebody well, because then you're just not being honest with yourself. If you're not being honest with yourself, then you're going to say that, but then that's just being fake. You're not really being honest in that moment. You're not ready to say that yet. All you're doing is suppressing your emotions the moment you say that. Be honest with yourself. If you're not ready to say that to them, you're not ready to say that. She was happy to know the person, or, she's glad to have experienced the experience with the person and getting to know the person, but the thing is that experience is necessary, and so she's ready for the experience, but she's not going to wish anybody well if she's not happy with them in that moment. I mean, why would she? Probably later on down the road after she sits with her feelings, but why would she be expected to wish anybody well after she just got blatantly insulted in that moment? Like, why would she wish anybody well in that moment? No, I completely support that. Do not wish somebody well when you know you are feeling their head and down. Do not wish somebody well if you know that they have clearly disrespected you. Take that time out for yourself to feel your emotions before you decide you're ready to say you wish them well. Don't just jump to it because you want to hold some sort of complex around feeling like the bigger person. Because sometimes it's not about being the bigger person, it's about honoring your feelings, even in those moments too. You're not ready to say that yet, so don't say it. And then own it. Yeah. That's it. Don't say what you don't mean. And if you claim to mean it, but you know you have reserved emotions towards that person, you're not ready to be honest with yourself in it. And that's another growing thing you're going to have to go through, because then you're just not being honest with yourself in that moment, and that's why it's going to be a growing thing. And you're either going to learn that through this experience or another one until you finally start to practice it. It's called the shadow side. It is called the other side that is not love and light. It is called your other energy. The energy called the dark divine feminine, the dark masculine. It's called operating and learning how to operate in both light and dark energies at the same time. And owning it responsibly. Not being messy about it. but doing it responsibly. And responsibly is going to look different for everybody. There will be people triggered by the fact that some people are not sorry for sharing something that they know is going to come off a certain way. And they're going to own it because that's just how they feel in that moment. They don't owe other people anything in regards to how they're choosing to show up for themselves in that moment. The only thing that is owed in every interaction and experience is gratitude for the experience and the lesson. So, no, when you are sharing your position of emotion or you're sharing your personal judgment of what you're deciding to pass when it comes to the position you stand on, when you are deciding to sit in your energy of emotions and how you're feeling about how somebody has approached you or is choosing to treat you, and it's not a nice energy you're feeling when you're sitting with that, no, you do not owe them a soft, kind, light, love energy in that moment. You do not owe them that. That is, I'm drawn to saying the word, that is a form of psychosis, because you're avoiding the dark aspects that are actually a part of you. They're a part of you. So own them when they come up, and own them responsibly. If you don't know how to own your dark aspects, you're going to continue operating in a state of psychosis where all you think about is learning how to try to operate in a space where you think that it's operating in a space of, oh, I have to always be in a space of compassion, acceptance, love, and understanding. You're going to always be trailblazed on and walked on by people that do not actually understand the gravity of how sacred that kind of energy is. Sometimes people need to experience the other side, the opposite of